Hello there and welcome to another video of Hear It From the Experts. This is when I reach out to experts in different fields, ask them multiple questions that you and I have been asking ourselves all along and have them actually answer it straight up. So today we have a special someone from actually my insurance company. I have liability insurance, home contents insurance, and bike insurance. And I actually had multiple questions regarding my contracts. And then I thought, okay, you know what? Why don't we just jump on a call? And they were totally up for it. So I'm really glad. Here in Germany, the thing is, insurances are great and they're very, very helpful, but they can also be really hard to understand. We're gonna go through some of the most taboo topics and talk a little bit about getting through all of that fine print. So there you have it. Let's jump on the call. Thank you so much for jumping on this call with us. I think the most important thing right now would be for you to introduce yourself and why we're talking about insurance today.
My name is Gunnar and I'm the head of the consulting team at Getsafe. We are a digital insurance company and we are offering a wide range of insurance products for individuals and also for families. The good thing is you can manage everything online. So via app you have easily access, you can update your coverage from anywhere in the world actually. We're offering a customer support that is fully in English, also do one-on-one consultations on the different products that we have so that expats feel confident that they're getting the support that they need in a language they understand. We want to make insurance a little bit more simple and transparent and accessible. That's actually what we do. Health insurance, liability insurance, household contents, pension planning, and so on. So we have a lot to offer for our English-speaking customers.
That's actually why I switched to you guys as well, is because, I mean, insurance, it's not easy to understand. Even in your own mother tongue, like your own native language, it's not easy to understand. Yeah, right. And for the longest time, I've had so much insurance here, and then I'm just like, I don't even think I'd actually file a claim because I don't even know how to file a claim. I have no idea like how to do it in the German language despite even speaking German. And then I thought, okay, if I'm actually gonna spend money on this, then I have to be able to understand it. The whole contract that nobody likes to read the fine print, nobody has time to do it, but I think this video is gonna be great because we can kind of dive into that and really get into the nitty-gritty of things and how we can make it easier for expats to really understand, which is good. We've talked about this before in some of our previous video chats together, and it's about the topic of really like expats or foreigners, including myself, not really understanding the importance of insurance here. Why do so many people have insurance?
Germans tend to have a strong sense of like responsibility and risk aversion. In Germany we have a relatively high level of income and feel of social security that we enjoy here. Insurance is affordable for people here in Germany, so we like buying the feeling that we are well protected no matter what happens.
The one thing that shocked me the most in probably the last 2 or 3 years is that it's not that Germans love having all of this insurance, it's that they actually use it. Whereas like in Canada, if something happened, for example, I was canoeing on my wedding day with a bunch of friends in Canada who had come from Germany. One of them stood up in the canoe where the other one was in the canoe with her like Apple Watch and all of her electronics, taking pictures, and he stood up and she fell out. And in Canada, it would have been like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, you know, I'll replace your watch and I'll replace everything. And then in the back of your head, you're just like, please say don't worry, please say don't worry. Whereas in Germany, it's just that simple. We're gonna go through insurance. People actually use it.
Great example for the liability insurance and where you can use it.
You'd really be surprised how many little things, even in your day-to-day life, that happen. For example, somebody just hacked my Facebook account last week, and this is what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks, like tears and everything. And then I'm like, Jenna, you're so dumb. Like, why did you not get legal insurance? You know, like these things, they constantly happen to you. And I think a lot of people don't realize that like it's so cheap. Like some of them, it's just pennies. Like you pay like sometimes 2 or 3 euros for a certain insurance, and it really is worth it, especially if it's really easy to kind of see on an app and just go through it all, you know? What insurances would I need in comparison to perhaps my friend who doesn't have kids, maybe, but who has animals, for example? A lot of people like to say, you know, these are your mandatory insurances in Germany, and it's always good to have home contents and liability, but it really depends on the person, doesn't it?
It really depends on your life situation. If you have children, if you're here as a student, if you're a homeowner, a renter, even if you're here on a short-term visa or if you're planning to stay forever here. Also, if you're freelancing, self-employed, or if you're employed, that's like really it. So it depends really on your personal situation. Most important insurances, you already mentioned. Liability is the most common insurance here in Germany, but also the contents insurance. If you have to replace your whole household due, I don't know, a flooding in your apartment or something like that, do you have the money just to replace 200,000 euros? So it is really good to have a contents insurance.
There's enough blogs and resources out there too for people to kind of really get a good idea of what insurances are actually offered. I think I also have a huge list of like all the crazy insurances that Germans offer that you call crazy until the situation comes and you realize, okay, I do need this. For me, it's really been kind of like a learning experience where I usually get the insurance once I've screwed myself over and realized I did need it. But I want to go back to home contents insurance for a second because we had a call last week about, I don't know, the questions that we were going to talk about and the different topics. Can you give this analogy again where you said, you know, if you flip your house over, blah, blah, blah?
That was the one question when you asked me. Now I'm a homeowner, I have the home insurance, why do I need the contents insurance? My answer was really easy. The contents is everything that falls out if you flip your house. These things are not insured within house insurance, but these are exactly the things that are covered in a household contents insurance.
When it comes to legal insurance, this is one that I've been on the fence about lately. What types of people typically get legal insurance?
We have different kind of topics in the legal insurance. If you want to sue your neighbor because he doesn't cut his trees, so you only have to have the private legal insurance. I think most people also have like the working legal insurance. When you're self-employed, I think it is really recommended, but also when you're employed for working contracts and stuff like that. There is also special professional legal insurance, which covers you, among other things, if you want legal recourse because you feel discriminated against in the workplace. This can be especially relevant for expats. There's a special one you can include for your car. If you have an accident and problems with claiming a file with the one you had an accident with, for example. It's hard to say what kind of people take out the legal insurance because I think this is good to have. It is obviously not mandatory. It is a recommendation, but not as high as I would say the liability or the contents insurance.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty, the dirty stuff, the taboo topics that insurance companies don't like to talk about. One thing that my husband mentioned was, well, it doesn't matter what insurance you get because it takes forever to file a claim anyway, or like there's always going to be something hidden in there in order to kind of like get them not to cover your case. But then I thought that kind of contradicts the idea of, well, so many Germans have insurance and I'm pretty sure it's because it's cheap and they can actually get their claim back. How do we avoid like this statement becoming true? Like how do we as customers really get to understand the fine print, I guess, or not get screwed over, as many people like to say, with the insurance providers?
I think the biggest topic there is understanding of the insurance, what is actually covered. Even for native German speakers, it is not every time easy to understand what is covered in the insurance. So we're trying to phrase it in a more easy way so that the terms and conditions are easier to understand. Filing a claim goes via our app, so you can just send a picture, do a claim with the app, so it is more easy. You get the English support. Really important point is before you take out the insurance, you really have to understand what is covered. Otherwise, it is, I would say, pretty normal that you are disappointed. What you have to pay attention for is, are there any exclusions? What are the conditions? What is covered? Any sublimits, maximum amount that is covered in a contract? How can I cancel the insurance? How can I file a claim? And sometimes for some insurances, you also have waiting times.
I think when we're talking about this, it kind of overwhelms people because they think, okay, well, I have to do then all of this research beforehand, don't I? Then it seems like it would be really stressful, but I have to say, on the topic of my account being hacked and realizing, okay, I finally need this, there's this new like blogger influencer insurance that some companies are offering. But I had questions, you know, I didn't know if it starts right away, are there any hidden fees, or how do I understand the contract? And then I realized you don't really have to do all of the research ahead of time. All you have to do is ask yourself these questions, or the points that you just made. Take those questions, type them in the chat of the insurance that you want, and just ask them. You know, on Getsafe, it's like, even when you're filing a claim or chatting with you guys online, it's like talking to a friend, you know, it's so much easier that way. You can ask the question in English. You don't have to worry about all of this fine print. And I realized that later on down the road, because with you guys, to be honest, I just like booked my bike insurance right away, because I got a bike and then I was so scared to get it stolen, because this is just like the #1 issue in Germany. And I forgot to ask, like, what are the exclusions? And one of them was that you have to have a specific bike lock, I think over the value of 50 euros, or a specific brand like Abus, I don't know how you say that. And I didn't realize that. So now I ran out and got that bike lock, but it's because I actually sat down and did the research that I really needed to. So you do have to put a little bit of elbow grease in there, and the best tip that I would have is just go on the chat. I'm gonna throw you in the deep water here and ask you, you're German, right?
Yeah, I am.
What's your experience with insurance like?
One thing is for my liability insurance. When I moved out an old apartment, the landlord goes through, is checking if everything is fine. He saw some marks on the wooden floor, and these, most people don't know, are things that you also have to pay when you're the renter. So the landlord can bill you for that, and my liability insurance is also there for these kind of claims.
When I moved out of my apartment, my landlord wanted to fine us like over 3,000 euros. There was like, I think 8 doors in this tiny 70 square meter apartment. So I put them all in the cellar, and then we had a really bad flood, I think 3 or 4 years ago now, and it destroyed the doors. Unfortunately in Germany, that's just like kind of how it goes. Like, I don't know anybody who has actually had an easy time leaving their flat without having some sort of issue of not getting their deposit back.
This is the thinking that most people have. Like you said, I'm not clumsy, it won't happen to me. But you're not always the one who is guilty of the situation.
If people have more questions, do you want to send them over your way and let them know how they can get in contact with you?
Yeah, sure. If you're interested in learning like more about Getsafe and insurance in general, you can easily visit our website. It is hellogetsafe.com. We have a team of insurance experts always there to answer any question and also help you to find the right coverage for your needs. Book a free consultation with me, my team, over the website or over the app. This is a good timing because we're hosting also a free webinar for on insurance for expats in Germany. This one will take place in the last week of May. You can also sign up for the webinar, so we go a little bit deeper into the topic of the different kind of insurances. Feel free to sign up if you're interested.
Awesome. So everybody, if you guys have your questions that you want to bring to the webinar, you're more than welcome. I will also try to jump in on May 31st from, what I say, 6:30 to 7:30? Yes. So I will also include that link down below. I'll include all of the pages that you need, including that list of insurances that I mentioned. I could probably even add to that list. I think we could go on forever. If there's any very specific questions that people have that think might make a good YouTube video as well, everybody can always feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section below. And you guys have a great team over at Getsafe, so I'm sure we'll definitely be able to create some more helpful content for expats moving forward. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for jumping on this call with me today and answering all of my questions. I think that it's really helped everybody else out too. And yeah, that's it.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it was a great chat. Thank you.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. Vielen, vielen lieben Dank und wie immer, bis später.